FreeMMOStation.com.
Hey guys, we are going to be talking really fast, and I hope you don't mind that. I'm Sky on the Shore at FreeMMOStation.com. We got a lot of stuff to cover in this little bit of time. That's kind of how I felt when I was playing this game. This is Marvel Heroes, a really fun game by Gazillion Entertainment, and of course, you know, Marvel, they got the whole universe here. It's really focused more on the comic book aesthetic, but anyways, this is going to be a lot of fun. Please join me here, would you kindly? It's dangerous to go alone. Put on your super suits. Let's do this, okay? Alright, so I'm going to be playing as Iron Man, and we are going to be having some fun. This game, I honestly, okay, first impression right now, I'm just going to give you an overall feeling of how I felt when I played the game. I played this game this weekend. I had a lot of fun. It was pretty good. Definitely worth a try. Completely worth a try. I would even recommend it to some friends. It is in the style of Diablo, top-down, sort of action-y. Actually, really action-y. There's some destructible environments and everything, a lot of explosions, really good aesthetic. I want you to know that I'm playing this on the Ultra, but on the low settings, it's also very similar looking, just, you know, maybe minus some lighting and shadows, but basically, the game looks pretty okay for what it is. I really like it. Okay, so yeah, load times. There's actually, load times are really frequent. You're going to go in and out of instances. Right now, what you're watching is me playing in the open world area of it. It's still really heavily instanced, so think about it really very similar to Guild Wars 2. Actually, the questing is very similar to Guild Wars 2 as well. If you ever played Guild Wars 2, you have sort of a main quest line, a main storyline, which you go, and it's very instant. You can bring friends in, but basically it's just you. That's basically like a campaign or story mode. And then you have open world events that happen, just very random events, or even events that you can start yourself. So that's really cool. But in the beginning, you start out with one of 5 heroes that you can choose. And if you want, there's an annotation where you can click to go to the end of the video where I talk about all the different heroes. Which is, there's a lot, and there's going to be more. It's very League of Legends style. So anyways, I go with Iron Man. You know, I like Iron Man. I think he's cool. I like his color scheme, and you know, just basically Iron Man's cool. So I just kind of wanted to see what was going on. I was hoping his abilities would be very similar to Iron Man, and that's true. All of the different heroes have very similar abilities and roles, which you would sort of imagine. Like the Hulk is probably melee, very tanky, and then you know Iron Man is not so tanky, more mage-like, long range, but then he has a lot of gadgets and stuff. Probably a lot of utility. So I wanted to do that. Let's go. Iron Man's pretty cool. So there is voice acting, just a little bit of voice acting, but a lot of reading. But it's really easy. You can just skip these quest lines. You don't have to really listen to anybody talk or anything. You just go click, 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 click. Really easy, really intuitive. I really like that. On the left is the health. On the right is the spirits. The spirit is basically your mana, your energy, whatever. It's different for every hero, of course, because everyone has different backgrounds, different, you know, just lore stuff, geeky stuff. Okay, we're going to geek out of here. Anyways, so that's basically what you use your abilities for. Your ability is used with the right click, and your normal auto attack is with the left click. Really easy. You basically just use the mouse the entire time. You use the mouse to move around. You point your mouse, click it. Very similar to the other games in the genre. But you can't. There is an action bar on the bottom in between the health and the spirit. You see, H is for healing, which you can just spam the crap out of healing. And I don't know what the other stuff is. If that's going to be extra abilities or whatnot. But I do know you can swap out different spirit abilities. So we have this cool like cutscene thing. It's very comic booky. I really like that. Just trust me, this game is very true to the nostalgic aesthetic here. Really cool, really kind of comical. I liked it, but it does get really intense and serious at some points. Even just playing this weekend, I had 3 days. Well, I actually had 2 days to play, and then like part of Monday. But whatever, it was really fun. I was really trying to rush through and get things, but at the same time try to take it slow in certain places. I'll probably give out some tips and tricks for you, like right now. Okay, we're watching this scenery, so we got nothing to talk about right now, but here's a quick tip. Since this game does pretty much focus very heavily on, you know, you don't really have many movement spells. You can't really just jump and dodge. You basically, dodging is the skill of the game. It's not very tank and spank. It's really, you got to dodge a lot, and it's actually kind of hard. So since this game is so hard to dodge, I suggest having spells that make you move. As you can see right now, I'm using Iron Man, and he has this sort of rush attack that not only attacks people, but it lets me dodge and it lets me get through people. So I use that as a skill, and it's just completely invaluable. Akinera Demon Hunters and probably Diablo 3's very similar skills that make you move are a little bit overpowered, a little bit necessary. I think they make the game a lot more intense and a lot more fun. It's better than just standing still, because in games like this you can't really move while using a lot of skills. So if you have a skill that or a hero that's really mobile, you're going to just have an overall advantage and just going to have better survivability. However, you might not want to have that depending on your team setup, but just overall survivability, if you're going to get into this game, I suggest speccing into the first movement spell that you can use. So that's what I did. I used that. I'm speccing into it. I'm getting through. I really love how fun it is. It's really fun. I do like shooting. I think maybe melee might be a little bit funner, but shooting is really cool. I do like it because shooting, basically you just point in the direction of an enemy. You don't have to have your mouse directly on an enemy, which is different. Some games do this differently of this genre, but you just point in the direction of an enemy, and then the program analyzes it and realizes, hey, you're aiming at this enemy and it's going to shoot. You can move. You can actually hold W, and that will move you in the direction of your mouse, or you can just click. So that's definitely good, especially if you want to, I don't know, just have a little bit of flexibility in how you play. It can be really confusing sometimes since you're holding mouse to move, but then an enemy moves in front of your mouse and then you start attacking them, which then causes you to stand still. It can be really frustrating, so definitely having that is a really bonus, just a really great bonus. Speaking about accessibility, usability, overall the UI is really good. There's a really awesome map mode. You can activate the map and it just slightly overlays it over your character. Completely playable with that. And then also, as you can see, there's an icon, a little question mark or whatever, a little goal marker where I can go. Health bars for the enemies show up, really easy to see. And just overall, just really easy to get into this game. However, though, I would have to say that the gear, I'm talking about the armor, talking about all that, that's a little bit confusing at first because you just get a lot of loot. Like, instantly you get into this game, you're slaughtering people, and you just get a lot of loot. So it's confusing to see, like, what's really good, what does what. So that's a little bit confusing, I have to admit. But getting into the game, the story-wise, it just kind of drops you in. It sort of just, it's a little bit comical. It expects you to sort of know, kind of, like, the universe. I mean, who doesn't really? But it's really cool that they show off some villains and stuff that, like, normal people wouldn't know about, that haven't been in the recent movies. It's really bringing it back. Like, you're gonna see a boss fight with the living laser. I've never even heard of that person. Not that I've, like, really read comic books. I've only had, like, a couple like the original Avengers comics from my uncle and stuff, so I'm not a huge comic book fan, but it's really cool to see this universe unfold. Just like in the movies, they sort of, in the recent movies, it's been really darker and stuff, but this, don't expect that. There are some motifs, like you can get a Avengers movie costumes, and stuff like that, but in this, it's really more the comic book thing. So what I think this is sort of the audience that it's geared for is it's really geared for the older audience, the audience that read these comic books. They're really gonna like get into this, and also I think it's gonna be for the younger generation to help them learn about this and get into it. But for the people in the middle like me, sort of my aesthetic that I'm into, I'm really more into things like Akinero Demon Hunters, where it's a totally original concept, totally different, so that's what I'm more into. But if you like this, maybe, you know, the comic books, if you like the Avenger movie, which I think anybody does, I even really like the Avenger movies, so get into this. I think you'll like it. That's why I'm going to recommend it to anybody. So on a scale of 1 to 5 of the recommendation, I'm going to say a 4, because maybe players don't like using a mouse. Maybe they're not used to that. Maybe they like more action-packed games. But honestly, this game is really actiony. It's really actiony for the style that it is. Especially if you're playing with other people in the open world section, and the boss fights are really challenging. Once you learn the patterns and everything, it's just all about skill and timing, so that's really cool. But the first part, when you first encounter a boss, it's so exciting trying to learn the pattern. I really enjoy that. That's why I liked Mega Man. Dude, everyone loves Mega Man. Everyone loves Mario bosses, stuff like that. Just learn the patterns, fight the boss. Really fun. So yeah, definitely I'm gonna have to recommend this game for anybody. Let's see, anything else to talk about? Well, the bosses are really colorful, really cool. I did like all of that. Well, talking about the shop, now there's going to be a lot more. This is, you know, open beta. There's so much more coming, and I think it's going to be like a League of Legends kind of selling point, where you're going to have different heroes with different abilities, all sorts of different stuff, but also different skins. So looking at the different skins, some have more than others, but there's a lot of different skins. They all cost differently, probably depending on how, you know, how like much it's wanted, how many people want it, demand and stuff, supply, demand, whatever. But some are really expensive. So I'm looking at the Iron Man ones. I'm gonna go with Iron Man. I like Iron Man. Didn't know which one to pick. I just wanted to be different than all the other Iron Mans, so I'm gonna pick the one that's the most different. But basically, that's the shop. It costs some money, and other than just the appearance, you can also equip items that increase, you know, like power and everything. Really basic stuff, really basic. But really what's different about this game is that it's so accessible, so easy, and the destructible environments, really fun. Overall, yes, recommending this game. Animation looks good. Overall, just a good game. I think it can play well on low systems, and I think anybody can just get into this game and have fun. Even just for a night, even just for a single night. Download this game, have a good night out, have a good weekend like I did. Real fun, watch some Avenger movie, awesome. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'm Skyline Shore again. Check out FreeMMOStation, tons of stuff, and yeah, awesome stuff. See ya.